If you've been through Northwest Toronto, you've no doubt been impacted by traffic delays. Take the bus on or near Finch, it can be worse.
To move around the city is a huge challenge. I mean, I don't even think people like to go to the east end of the city because it is such a 2 hours minimum to get there. To move around the city to get downtown.
Local community advocate Butterfly Gopal rides the TTC a lot. She says better transit is needed as soon as possible.
It's not reliable. You can be waiting at the bus stop for, 3 buses will be loaded full and will leave you there.
For more than 3 years, building the Finch West LRT has been underway to bring relief. It hasn't been without challenges, though.
The delay in traffic is our number one, obviously. It's kind of a ripple effect where, the delay in getting to their place of work, a delay in deliveries. They're hurting a bit for the pedestrian traffic, but there's also a light at the end of the tunnel.
Sandra Farina at the Emery Village BIA says despite the issues, the contractor and Metrolinx have been communicating with them constantly, something longed for in other areas with massive projects, doing things like
additional signage, not blocking certain driveways, or not keeping them closed for a long period of time when it's not really being utilized, or storage of construction materials.
We wanted to see for ourselves how things are going, so CityNews drove the entire line. First, the good. Areas like Driftwood, as well as at Finch West and Humber College, the 2 end stations, things are getting near finished. The LRT storage yard near Jane is also done, but just outside of it, traffic is a mess at rush hour. Move away from either of the end terminals, progression isn't as far. Makeshift accesses like here near Martin Grove and by Islington run over tracks. Road construction is still going. Now this section on Finch where I'm walking near Western Road, this is arguably the worst part of the project, and I'm going to show you why when I flip the camera around here. As you can see in the road, there isn't a track bed yet.
We had some really major utilities that had to be relocated. There's everything there from really deep water and sewer lines, gas mains, and oil pipelines that all had to be relocated in that section.
Andrew Hope oversees new rapid transit projects at Metrolinx. He says while Weston is behind, they're happy with where things are at overall.
We've got about 95% of the track bed installed. About 75% of the rails are now installed. We've got about 2/3 of the stop platforms installed.
As construction continues, he says there are 2 priorities for the agency.
The next few months are going to be crucial. Construction's in a good place. Testing, commissioning's beginning to progress now. And then we've got to get the drivers trained.
So what's the timeline for finishing construction, testing all the equipment, and getting trains up and running?
In an ideal world, we'd like to get through the majority of the testing commissioning throughout the fall and get that wrapped up. But the unknown when you do testing commissioning is what are you going to find? I'd say the first half of 2024 is probably the most likely while we get through all of that.
Meanwhile, back in North York, Gopal and others keep pushing to improve conditions until and after the LRT is open.
You keep raising the costs, the fares, cutting the services, cutting workers from this public transit system, right? Like, it needs to be robust, but it shouldn't be on the back of people who are using it.
We'll have more on this story at citynews.ca. In Toronto, Nick Westoll, City News.